Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ledger podcast. This is Dakshita Gupta, analyst, Global People Solutions at Grant Thornton Bharat. Joining me is someone whose journey and experiences offer valuable perspective for every aspiring and young CA. CA Karan Kakkar, partner, tax planning and optimization at Grant Thornton Bharat. Karan, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Dakshita.
Karan, my first and very obvious question to you. Why CA? Why did you choose chartered accountancy and what kept you going through such a demanding journey?
When I look back, CA wasn't just a career choice for me. I had a lot of confusion in my head. I wanted to become a doctor, a pilot, whatnot. As a child growing up, then I realized in my family, there was one cousin of mine who became a CA. And I used to look up to him. That was my, turning point that, okay, this is something I want to do. There are moments of self-doubts. I had many, multiple failed attempts, at least I can tell you for my inter when I was in that zone. And I did really sacrifice into my family functions and had, various sleepless nights or very early mornings to, study. So what pulled me through was very simple belief. Is not an event, it's an habit. So that is where I went after that. And second thing was always also was responsibility towards my parents who had invested in me, my mentors, whosoever could guide me at that point in time, and eventually my own ambitions. So that's where if I have to talk about myself, quitting even after the failures was never an option for me. So that kept me, going through and, crossing that line.
In the first few years after becoming a CA, what were the biggest challenges that you faced and what helped you stand out?
Well, there were quite many challenges, but the biggest challenge in first few years was gap between what you have learned as a CA, as a student, and how do you really apply it. So as a student, we memorize the sections, case laws, accounting standards. But the moment you sit across a CFO, the game changes because none of that matters really. What only matters is how can you translate it into a business decision. The second challenge was finding my own voice in the room, because as once you become a CA and you join an organization, you often are lost into many senior people. They have their own opinions, voices. So that is at times can get very intimidating. So what helped me stand out was something I could recognize, and I can relate to GT's core behavior is listening. I learned early on those clients that do not want you to impress them with the jargons, rather they would want you to understand them. So that is what I learned very quickly in my profession and my career. So the moment you listen with the intent, ask the right questions and come back with the pragmatic solutions, you stop just being another CA and start becoming a partner in their client's growth journey.
What are some of the common mistakes that you feel CA aspirants make during the preparation journey, and what would you advise them to do differently?
Sure. So I see three very common mistakes, and I had made some of them myself also. I'll be very honest in admitting that. So the first one, what I see that we all chase marks instead of concepts. So as a CA student, a lot of aspirants treat CA like a memory test. They mug up the provisions without understanding what is behind them. The concept is very, very important in my view for any CA student. So my advice would be, I would say fall in love with the logic of law, not the language of law. The second is, so many students believe that CA is a solo journey, but it is a lonely journey. No, it is really not. Some of my best learnings, when I started doing was study, in groups. So we used to debate each other. We used to challenge the assumptions. So that is how the group studies really helped us, one, to bond together and to learn the concepts from each other. Surround yourself with people who can push you up, not pull you down. And the last one, I would say is very, very important, which every one of us, ignore is they neglect their health and relationships. CA is a marathon, it is not a sprint. Take care of your sleep, your family, and your mental health. Be true to yourself, be true to your health, and genuinely, you will come on the top for sure.
Many new CAs struggle to choose between the industry and professional practice, and whether to specialize or to explore. How should they approach these decisions early on?
So I would rather say, please do not rush to label yourself when you're very young in your career. So at least, in the first 3 to 5 years after qualification, your job is not to decide, it is to discover. So treat these 3 to 5 years like an apprenticeship in life. Try different domains, work with different kind of leaders, take on assignments that really scare you a little. So, be agile, choose based on what energizes you on Monday morning. It should not happen that you don't feel like going to your office, whether it is industry or it is in practice. So it is, and also do not chase money. Believe you me, if the career is long, the money is going to chase you back. So build a strong foundation across, be it tax, audit, finance, and only then decide what is your niche. Once we decide whether it is industry or practice, then pick up your firm very carefully. Which organization can offer you what you really want in your career? So at GT, what made me stay for that long number of years, it's been close to what, 12 to 13 years in GT now, that we have built a workplace where client experience and quality are main KPIs, not the billing or the cross-sell. So that kind of culture is rare, and it shapes the kind of professional you become. So choose your firm also very carefully is my advice to all the newly qualifieds.
Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast with us today. Conversations like these truly highlight how growth is shaped not just by the milestones, but by everyday learning and coaching. To all our listeners today, here's to staying curious, supporting one another, and continuing to learn every step of our way. Thank you for tuning in to the Ledger Podcast. This is Dakshita Gupta signing off.